Buongiorno a tutti. Sto facendo un salto nel mio passato di 25 anni perché ho iniziato la mia carriera come giornalista prima di fondare la mia agenzia. Chissà se mi ricordo ancora come fare un po' di domande e gestire le risposte. Assocom, abbiamo sentito dal Presidente Testa, vuole essere il punto di riferimento nel mercato, e anche PR Hub, che è la piattaforma collaborativa che abbiamo creato l'anno scorso all'interno di Assocom, che riunisce una trentina di agenzie, vuole essere il punto di riferimento del mercato delle relazioni pubbliche. E abbiamo pensato che questa fosse un'occasione molto interessante di cominciare a parlarne guardando le relazioni pubbliche da un punto di vista globale, ed è per questo che vogliamo condividere con voi oggi il piacere di parlarne con Maxim Behar, che è il Presidente di ICCO, che inviterei sul palco, a raggiungermi sul palco. Grazie.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno Maxim, prego. Bene, il resto dell'intervista sarà in inglese come cortesia per l'ospite, so I switch to English, and I welcome you to Italy and welcome in Milano. I know you're not new to the city because you visited it recently during the last global gathering of ICCO, and I would like to start from ICCO. What is ICCO? I've been told it's an association of associations, it's a community. What is it, please?
First of all, apologize that I will speak English. I would be very, very happy to speak Italian, and most probably it will come with years. But whatever you don't understand, just ask, and Diego will translate to you. And thank you very much for the invitation. We really appreciate Assocom and PR Hub as our partner. ICCO is the largest global PR community. We gather at that moment 48 countries, so I have in my board 48 representatives of all the continents. And throughout the years, we proved ourselves as a really very loud and very strong voice of the public relations business all over the world. And it's not very easy. As we spoke last night with Diego and Andrea, the most important in our business is that public relations nowadays is the most dynamic business in the world. It changed, for my understanding, like a magical night or magical week overnight. We were sleeping somehow, and a couple of days later we woke up and it was completely different business. The most important change we accept in ICCO, and it's the worldwide truth, is that since the beginning of public relations business more than 100 years ago, first time ever in the history, we own media. We really own media. 10 years ago, our clients were coming to your offices and they were saying, "Buongiorno, Mr. PR expert, we have a request. We produce a very nice product, pen or Coke or drink or whatever, and we would like that you help us, media, to know about our product and to write stories about that." That was the core of our business 10 years ago. And then we were saying, "Of course, Mr. Client, we can do everything for you." We organize a press conference, we organize a product promotion, and then the journalists will visit your factory and they will write good stories and this and that. So that's how this business worked. And we were charging the client per hour or per project, making our profits, reinvesting in new equipment, and then new clients were coming. Nowadays it's completely different. And this is most probably the business which suffered or which witnessed the most dramatic changes in the world. Because our clients now, they come to our office, to your offices, and they say, "Buongiorno, Mr. PR expert, we own media, but we don't know what to do with this media." And then they say, "We tried, my secretary was posting on Facebook, and then my girlfriend was handling the social media, or my wife was helping me doing this and that, but it didn't work. So tell us what to do." So this is the most dramatic change, that we turned our business from management of communications into management of content. Nowadays, in 2016, we are much more journalists than any journalists in the newspapers or in the TV, because we create the content and it requires completely different knowledge, completely different abilities of our teams, completely different people in our offices. My company, I come from Bulgaria, a very small and beautiful country, very friendly country to Italy, not far away from here. And I have an office of about 120 employees, which for this small country and for this market is a really big operation. And we are part of Hill & Knowlton since 15 years. So nowadays, almost 20 people of these 120 are doing social media. And 3-4 years ago, I had only one social media expert. So it says that we should have completely different education, completely different knowledge and abilities of our teams. This is a really great change.
Thank you. And we all have the impression that this is a very good moment for PR, because PR are getting back to becoming more and more strategic in driving the growth of companies and organizations. From your perspective, leading a global organization like ICCO, how do you see this happening?
I think that it's very important now that we unite our efforts, because all of us, we start our day with Facebook and our emails, with the first coffee in the morning. And we should realize that staying on Facebook or on Twitter or LinkedIn, at the end of the day, this is sharing knowledge, nothing else. Never ever in the history, people worked so much like we work now in 2016. And never ever in the history, the PR experts and people generally knew or had so many knowledge as we have now. So sharing knowledge, uniting our efforts, talking between us, like today's highly estimated forum and conference, exchanging ideas, exchanging approaches, it's absolutely important. A couple of months ago, I called to a very small Italian agency looking for some information and partner from Rome. And I asked them, I don't see your clients on the website. And they said, oh, scusato, senor, but we never put our clients on the website because somebody can steal us, the clients, and people are looking and they're very curious and they can see what projects we are doing. And I said, it's a nonsense. It's a nonsense, because nowadays everything is absolutely transparent. So the more knowledge we exchange between us, the more information, the more tools and approaches we exchange, the better we are. So from that perspective, I think that meeting online or offline, sometimes offline even is much better, like today, because for a good event like yours today, we need only two things: good speakers and enough coffee breaks, just to network and to know each other. So I'm really sure that ICCO is such a platform that then can provide a good networking. We had one of the most successful summits of ICCO was last year in Milan. And it coincided with Milan Expo, and some of us could go there and could see the presentation of the countries. But more important was that we had the right place, middle of Europe, middle of the fashion industry and intelligence, and we had also the right timing. 2015 was a crucial year for PR, just because we started to understand all those changes and the way that we must be different people nowadays. All of us, we must have different knowledge, different tools to organize our business and to make it successful for our clients, because at the end of the day, our clients are the most important people. Many times, journalists put me the question, what is more important, the client or the team? And a lot of people say, of course, the client, because we work for our client, the client pays the bill, the client is very important. And then I say, it's not true. The team, our teams are 1,000 times much more important than the clients, because you can have the best clients if you don't have the enough knowledgeable and experienced professional team, then the clients will leave. But if you have the good team without the clients, be sure that the clients will come very soon. Because in the modern transparent world, the information is flowing very fast. So the clients will see the abilities of your team and will come to work with your company.
Let's speak about convergence, because it's all about convergence today, convergence of PR and advertising, traditional PR and digital PR, free media, paid media. What is your view about this? Is there any effective model to follow from your perspective?
Because in this room we have the representatives from the advertising business and public relations business, most probably media buying, most probably digital, it's quite obvious that we live in an environment where we have a three main circle of businesses getting closer and closer every single minute, if I can say. It's public relations, advertising, and digital. And these three circles are covering each other very fast. And there is a big dispute within our communication society, who will prevail? A lot of people, including Sir Martin Sorrell, are saying advertising will prevail because we guys, first of all, we buy media, we have influence on media, and secondly, we do the visual creative. We have the graphic designers, we have the animators, we have the movie producers. Then, of course, the digitals, they say, we will prevail, we will lead this project because we understand the development, we understand the SEO, we understand how this world works. And then, public relations. We don't say anything, but I do believe, and apologize for the advertising representatives in this room, but I do believe that public relations will have a very important word and very important role in the future development of the communications business. And I don't know if it will be a leading role, but most probably will be a leading role for one simple reason. We create the content. We are the masters of the content. Everybody can have the best website or the most visited Facebook profile or extremely interesting Twitter place that every 5 minutes will tweet or whatever. But at the end of the day, who cares? It's important, the visual, but on Twitter, one of the most influential and powerful tools nowadays, who cares about visuals? Everyone cares about these 140 characters where the journalism can say so many things. So this is the content. And this is extremely important, where to put the verb, how to start the sentence, where to put the emphasis, how to make this 140 characters construction in a way that it will work very powerful. So the content is so important, and we in the public relations for centuries, we used to work on the content, on the words, on the written text. Of course, visual has its own place in the modern communications. But this visual, very soon, will not be the graphic design, will not be the web design, but this visual will be the real-time performance and the real-time communications. You see recently, since 1 month, you see Facebook then that they started doing this live performance, and this will be the future. Very soon, all of us, we will wake up, we'll switch on our Facebook or whatever social network or platform will be, and we'll start communicating real time with all our friends. And then, I said to Diego last night, then it will be a great moment for Italy. And Italy will be the leader in this, because Italy is the leader of the fashion business. And everyone who would like to go online will spend at least 10-15 minutes in front of the mirror to see what tie and what jacket and what suit and how he or she will look like, and then we will go online. Because the real-time communications, video communications, is coming very soon. And again, this will be our job to train the clients in a way that they will speak good, that they will speak wise, that they will send the proper messages, and this is the content, which cannot be done by according to me, by any digital or any advertising company. So advertising, again, it's my opinion, will be the full support of the public relations business, and we will work together with them. The digital will be a very important support to the public relations business, but most probably we will be the one to consult our clients how to send properly their messages. And one more, the public relations business, I think, very soon will change its name. We cannot talk about public relations in 2016 when everything is public, because a century ago it was called public relations. Why? Because there was public relations, was public information, and non-public. And a century ago, public was 10% and non-public was 90%, having in mind the speed of the media. And a century ago, newspaper was a newspaper. These days, we have only paper, because there is no news in the newspaper. At the end of the day, we know all the news. So from that perspective, I think that it's a nonsense to call a business public relations when everything is public. Like to say transparent window, so that the window is transparent anyway. Most probably in the future it will be something like a United Communications or people relation. It might be, but we still have people relation nowadays. It will be most probably live communications, so live relations, because everything will be live, everything will be transparent, and more transparent, of course, and more public. And it will bring the world, according to my opinion, to a much better stage. Because the world nowadays is much better than the world 20 years ago, and much better than the world 50 years ago, because of the transparency. About 20 years ago, I wrote in Bulgaria the first business ethics standard. And then I started with this standard going all over the country and explaining what is ethics and morality, integrity, and all those things. And a lot of people were asking me, what is business ethics? Because we don't know, what is this business ethics? And sometimes it's very difficult to explain, because you should write stories about that or articles. But it's only one sentence. Ethics is doing profits transparently. We are in business, then we must do profits, because we should reinvest, pay salaries, and all those things. But if we do this transparently, then it means that we are ethical. Because if we do it in the wrong way, everyone will see that we are doing it in the wrong way. So transparency is a very key word. And I do believe that the world will become much better also because of the advanced public relations job and projects.
Thank you. And two more questions. One is about, well, you talked about running a larger global PR community. What is your suggestion to the PR hub community we established within Assocom in terms of action plan and suggestions?
It's a very new community. For my understanding, it's something like 1.5 years. So PR Hub is part of Assocom, and all we know that there is one more community in Italy, much older, Assorel, very good friends of mine as well, and people who I know very well. So my vision, but I'm not a local, so I can speak only from the point of view of the future and someone who is running a global community, and we would like to see, again, it's a wish, it's a desire, one public relations community, one public relations association, sitting like friends, having drinks, exchanging opinions, and of course bringing Italy to a much better positioning on the global market. So I do believe, and the unity and the friendship for sure is the future of the people who work in our business.
And the last question is about us. I see here many representatives of the business community in Milano related to communications, but at the end we are all in business. What is your suggestion to Italy and to the Italian business community to catch all these opportunities like synergy, convergence, content?
the business is so international recently, so whatever advice you can give to the Italian business community, you can give to the French one or to the German. It's a story about 25 years ago that late Conrad Hilton, who was the founder of the Hilton Hotel Network, was interviewed by Jay Leno. And at the end of the interview, Jay Leno said, Mr. Hilton, you have 1 minute to say the most important thing in your life for 25 million viewers all over the United States. So you have the camera, you have 1 minute, please tell us the most important thing in your life. And then Conrad Hilton, who was very experienced, said, which camera? This camera. And then he looked at the camera and said, dear Hilton guests, when you take a bath, please put the curtain inside the bath because a lot of water is going outside. Thank you very much. So this guy was pragmatic. From the very, very beginning of this industry, of his industry, was pragmatic. The most important thing in his life was not to say to the visitors, we are the best hotels, we have the best service, we have the best breakfast or whatever, but the leakage of the water outside the bath, of the tube. So nowadays, I think that in our business, we might be creative, very creative, we might be very innovative, very aggressive, very, let's say, too much advanced to offer to our clients new tools and new suggestions and new options. But at the end of the day, we must be very pragmatic because business changed in a way that pragmatism should be the leading role. Take an example with the crisis management. 10 years ago, we had a lot of time to solve a crisis. Let's say you open a newspaper, Repubblica or Corriere, and you see an article, bad article for your client, then you call the client and you say, Mr. Client, we have a very bad article about your products today in the morning in Corriere, and it's a crisis. And then the client says, oh, Mr. PR agent, please come to my office, we'll have a coffee, we'll have a drink, we will see. Then you go to the client's office, and then you sit for a couple of hours, you discuss. Then in the afternoon, you send a press release saying that it's not true, and then you invite an editor from Corriere della Sera to come to the office to explain to him that it's a mistake and it's not true, and then you organize a press conference. So you have 10 hours to solve a crisis. Nowadays, we don't have 10 seconds even, not 10 minutes, because the moment crisis or bad message or bad article or bad opinion is online, then it will have potentially 1 billion readers for 5 minutes or for 10 minutes, because 1.5 billion profiles are on Facebook, so which brings Facebook to the 3rd largest country in the world after China and India. So the risk is so big that we should be pragmatic, no creative, nothing to do with this, just to be well prepared, to train a lot what to do in the period of crisis, to train a lot how to promote your clients' messages on social media in a way that it will reach the best target. And sometimes, and I will tell you the story, one more story and then I finish, and sometimes you must take decisions very fast. You know, I do believe that the worst decision is better than no decision. So, last story, and I'm finishing. A couple of years ago, I had a lunch with the Prince of Wales in the St. James Palace. And we were 2 of us, and at the end of the lunch, Prince Charles said, sir, I have a present for you. And I said, oh, Your Highness, thank you very much, I appreciate. And I was sure that the present will be a book about Buckingham or a mug for tea or something like that. But he said, no, I invited a couple of British businessmen in the next room, and I would like that we have a cigar and cognac and coffee, and you have 10, 15 minutes to sell your country. And I said, oh my gosh, what can we say to these guys? Because there was the CEO of Tesco, the CEO of British Petroleum, of some larger business investors, British. So we went to the next room, and the Prince of Wales introduced me to the gentleman. We sat down, he was having a like a small throne in the middle, and the guys were there, and I had a small, very small tabouret next to the Prince of Wales. So I stood up and I said, ladies, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. I just want to say 3 words about my country, Bulgaria. Bulgaria is a WWW country. And then they kept silent, and the Prince of Wales said, oh, I know this. You have very fast internet. You have a very good program. I said, no, it's not about internet. It's weather, women, wines. And that's true, by the way. So it immediately broke the ice, and they started laughing, and we started talking about Bulgaria. And then a year later, I went to have a dinner with his father in Buckingham. And I took my daughter with me because she was studying in Edinburgh at that time, and this guy is the Duke of Edinburgh. And we were sitting in a table, so Prince Charles crossed the whole room and the parquet, and I was pretty sure that he doesn't remember me, of course. But he crossed, and then he came to our table and said, oh, WWW, I remember. So that means that sometimes you must think very fast. You must create things which are simple and easy to remember. Thank you very much.
Thank you.